All right, let's go. We look at it.
All right.
You and me both have our top 3 most clutch quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah, it's just these 3, right? I mean, are we tripping? Because we have the same 3.
People.
Like, who are we? Obviously, we're leaving out old timers, as you and I have learned.
Like, I've seen Terry Bradshaw on
I
lists.
know.
He has more career interceptions than touchdowns.
But here's the thing,
and when
George.
Terry Bradshaw was playing, he had the steel curtain. He had a great defense.
That's right.
There was no free agency that existed.
Great
Now, that is
all-time
the case for
coach.
one person that is on this list.
But great all-time receivers. He had everything. Here's the thing I want to say about us, just to defend us, as we talk about our top 3 clutch quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah.
This is just to defend us, because I know people poke holes at our Mount Rushmores and our top 3s and our top 5s. George and I are very clear about this, okay? More so me. George will at least sometimes go down the old school route. I don't like putting people on list of all-time things that I didn't watch.
Well, that's not fun.
It's not a knock on anyone, old school. I'm sure Johnny Unitas was as clutch as they come. I mean, the college I went to, the field was named after him. Like, I get it.
He went to Towson?
Yes.
Whoa, didn't know that.
But at the same time, like, I didn't see it, bruh. Sorry. So I'm sure, player X was great in the 1946 NFC title game. Sorry, I wasn't even thought of then, okay? Relax. So I like going by players that I've watched with thine eyes. And I noticed we have the same 3. And I kind of feel like this is the only 3 to say. There's a couple honorable mentions we can talk about, but this is the 3, George.
So let's start with 1. We all know who it is. We'll go 1, 2, 3. We'll list them out.
Got it.
And then we'll talk about it.
Tommy.
Tom Brady, number 1. Don't care. All the stats, game-winning drives. And the fact that he always played his best football in the biggest moments.
Facts.
Even the one of the Super Bowls that he lost.
Oh.
Well, think about the 2 he lost. Offensive line was absolutely exposed. And you just got to credit the pass rush.
Yep.
You also needed Eli Manning to make 2 ungodly throws and plays.
That's right.
One to David Tyree, one to Mario Manningham, and injured Rob Gronkowski. This guy could have been perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect in Super Bowls. Instead of 7 rings, he could have 10, which is insane to think about.
I'll
And then you
give
think
you
of the Eagles Super Bowl.
I was going to say that another NFC East team that beat him, that Eagles game was incredible. I mean, the numbers he was putting up was insane. I don't blame Brady at all in that Super Bowl. I blame Belichick. I thought Belichick got outcoached by Doug Peterson.
Yeah. Number 2 for me, and I think as well we'll have to change. Well, number 2 for me, I go Joe Montana. You go Patrick Mahomes. And those are 2, 3 we have flipped.
But it's fine, right? Like, it's those 2. And the only reason I went Mahomes is the same reason he's moving up everyone's board. I'm just not willing to put him above Tom. But I'm willing now at this point.
What?
To put Mahomes above every other quarterback I've ever watched, including Peyton Manning, including Joe Montana.
You scared me for a
including
second.
Another clutch quarterback who almost made my list, but I went Montana over him and John Elway. But I watched them all, and I feel fortunate that I've watched all these great quarterbacks in my lifetime. Mm-hmm. But I will tell you this. I have never, ever seen anyone with the talent, this includes Tom Brady, as a Patrick Mahomes. I've just never seen it. And he just continues to amaze me. He's clutch. He's climbing up my all-time list. He's got a long way to go to catch Tom, but damn it, my mind and my heart is open to it because I've never seen anything like this from this kid. That's why he's 2 on my list.
It's every time. I mean, we just saw it in the Super Bowl. They just won.
Yeah.
Every play you need to make with his legs, throwing. You never have a lead that is safe if Patrick Mahomes is on the opposite side.
Yep.
Talking about game-winning drives and all that, Tom Brady, 58 game-winning drives regular season in his career. 14 postseason game-winning drives, 9 postseason fourth-quarter comebacks.
Yeah.
Just look at Mahomes. His career in the playoffs, he's 15-3, 3-1 in the Super Bowl.
Gee.
And he could be 4-0 in a Super Bowl if he had an offensive line when he lost to Tom and the Buccaneers. But also, I don't know, because he was playing Tom Brady. And think about it like this. He could also have 5 Super Bowl appearances if D Ford was on sides. And that interception Brady threw when targeting Gronk was picked off by the Chiefs. But he was off sides.
Good point.
Was called back. And then guess what? Tom Brady led the Patriots to a game-winning drive and put him into the Super Bowl.
That's right.
His completion percentage, again, this is his last 18 playoff games. 67%, 282 yards per game, 39 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, a 106.3 passer rating. God. In his last 7 postseason games, he's thrown 1 interception. And this is the most insane one to me. Since 2001, there have been 125 drives in the NFL. Postseason, where it was at least the fourth quarter, there was under a minute left to play, and the team on offense trailed by 7 points or fewer.
Yep.
Out of those 125 postseason drives with under a minute to go, 40% of them saw the team on offense tie or take the lead. Tom Brady's 5-11 in that situation. Drew Brees went 3-6. Patrick Mahomes is a perfect 7 for 7 in that situation. Under a minute to go in the playoffs.
That's crazy.
And you need to either tie or win the game. And he is 7 for 7 in those situations.
Yeah, man. Money.
He's as clutch as it comes. He can make every play. And again, elevates his game on those biggest moments. My one with Joe Montana. Now, I see what you're explaining of you've seen him. I never saw Joe Montana play. I was born in 94. But in 1988 and 1989, 19 touchdowns in the playoffs, 1 interception, over 1,600 yards, completed 70% of his passes, 6-0 record with back-to-back Super Bowls. And he's never thrown an interception in a Super Bowl, and he has 4 rings.
Yeah.
Brady has 7 rings. Mahomes, again, easily could have 4 or 5, has 3, coming off back-to-back. And then Montana has 4.
Yeah.
Insane to think about.
He was the GOAT until Tom walked into the picture. I'm just telling you right now.
Oh, I knew that, man.
Like, he was the GOAT.
I didn't grow up under a rock. I was keen to history and all that.
Yeah, he was a GOAT. Here's a couple, honorable mentions that I wanted to get in here.
Let me hear it.
I mean, John Elway I already brought up. He didn't get the Super Bowls till late in his career.
And he was unclutch until he finally broke through.
That's right. So he sort of changed the narrative of his career. I think you have to consider Eli Manning, seeing as how he, as you brought up, stood toe-to-toe with the GOAT twice and beat him, and he was clutch. He was clutch in both of those wins.
That's the one I think of as Eli.
Yeah, Eli deserves an honorable mention. I have Joe Burrow moving up my board, just like I do Patrick Mahomes. I just need Joe Burrow healthy.
Need him to be around. We need another playoff run. Yep.
So I think Burrow feels a lot like this generation's Peyton Manning, whereas Patrick Mahomes feels like Tom Brady. I think Burrow will figure it out and get a ring or 2 before it's all said and done. So he has room to move on my list. He could knock Joe Montana out of the top 3, quite frankly. And then here's one just for funsies I wanted to bring up because I remember them calling them the cardiac Colts when I was a kid. But Jim Harbaugh, man, was an absolute clutch quarterback. He didn't have all the numbers as some of the other guys, his contemporaries during that time, but Jim Harbaugh led a lot of comebacks for the Colts, including some playoff games. I think Jim Harbaugh deserves some respect here too.
You know what I think of too when I think of Mahomes? I remember I was covering the Packers at the time. We were driving up to Lambeau, Packers-Seahawks playoff game. By the time we drive from Madison to Green Bay, I check real quick, what's the other scores around the league? Houston Texans, 24. I'm looking at my phone. Kansas City Chiefs, 0. You go, what the hell happened?
Wow.
That game's over.
Yep.
51-31 the final.
That's right.
5 touchdowns from Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Largest comeback in franchise history.
Yep.
And then we get after, all right, what was the final? What? They came back?
That's right.
That's Mahomes.
Yeah, that's right.
That Eli play, being grown up in New Jersey.
Which one, Tyree or Manningham?
Exactly, both.
Right?
It was again.
Filthy.
This is happening again. And a guy that would look like a dunce 70% of the time.
Yeah.
But they would say it. I mean, biggest moments, he was always equal, same level, never too high, never too low. And that's what you want.
Dumb, ugly look on his face. Looking lost as hell.
You know what he is? Dunce looking, dumb looking, ugly looking, king of New Jersey and New York.
Facts.
Man. He still resides in Jersey.
Facts.
Best state there ever was. Never has to pay for a meal or drink rest of his life.
Nor
He is
should
royalty.
Yeah.
And he's the only guy. That Tom Brady roast, you love it.
Yep.
The one person, as TB12 was going through and F-Uing everyone, he goes, F you Eli, F the Giants twice. And what does Eli do? I don't have to show up, bro. I won. He's
Facts.
the only person that can wake up every morning, Eli Manning, and go, I beat Tom Brady when it mattered most. That has something to do with it.
I'm sick of all the Mannings. Peyton, Eli, Archie, Arch, all of them, Cooper. Screw all y'all.